There's a room in every billionaire's empire that you'll never see on Instagram. It's not the yacht, not the private jet, not the boardroom. It's the 4 a.m. workspace. Silent, controlled, distraction-free. While you're scrolling, they're building. While you're consuming, they're creating. While your dopamine drains into infinite feeds, theirs is locked in a vault, weaponized for one thing: strategic execution. This is Titanexia. And today, we're exposing the most guarded secret in modern wealth creation. How the richest people on Earth treat dopamine like a finite resource, and why that single principle separates billionaires from the broke. Let's start with biology. Dopamine is not pleasure. It's anticipation. It's the neurochemical that drives you toward reward, not the reward itself. And here's the trap. Modern technology has hijacked this system. Every notification, every like, every refresh, every swipe. They're micro hits of dopamine designed to keep you anticipating but never arriving. The average person gets 96 dopamine hits before breakfast. Their baseline is shot. Their focus is fractured. Their motivation? Borrowed from platforms that monetize distraction. But billionaires? They've reverse-engineered the system. They understand. Whoever controls their dopamine controls their destiny. Warren Buffett lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. Mark Zuckerberg built an empire on attention engineering, then designed his life to eliminate unnecessary decisions. This isn't eccentricity. It's neuroscience. Every choice you make depletes your dopamine reserves. Every distraction fragments your focus. Every context switch costs you 23 minutes of deep work potential. Billionaires treat dopamine like Navy SEALs treat ammunition. They don't waste rounds. They don't spray and pray. Every shot is intentional. The average person makes 35,000 decisions per day. CEOs? They automate 80% of theirs. They've eliminated the noise, automated the trivial, and redirected all available motivation toward one thing: building systems that create wealth while they sleep. Here's what they don't teach in business school. In the 21st century, attention is the scarcest resource on Earth. Oil? Replaceable. Gold? Abundant compared to human focus. Your undivided attention? That's the new oil field. And the platforms know it. TikTok's algorithm optimizes for retention time. Instagram feeds are built on variable reward schedules, the same psychology behind slot machines. YouTube autoplay isn't a feature. It's a trap. Every app on your phone is designed by Stanford psychologists and behavioral economists to do one thing: keep you engaged. Not educated. Not fulfilled. Engaged. The average person spends 7 hours a day on screens. That's 2,555 hours per year. Over a lifetime? 20 full years of pure consumption. Billionaires? They've opted out. They don't consume content. They create it. They don't rent attention. They own it. They don't scroll. They build the platforms you scroll on. How do they do it? Billionaires practice what neuroscientists call strategic dopamine deprivation. They intentionally create boredom. Because here's the paradox. When you remove easy dopamine, your brain hunts for harder dopamine. The dopamine from solving complex problems. From closing million-dollar deals. From building companies that change industries. Naval Ravikant doesn't use social media. Jeff Bezos banned PowerPoint from Amazon meetings to force deep thinking. Elon Musk schedules his day in 5-minute blocks. Every second accounted for, zero waste. They've turned their attention into a weapon. And in part 2, we're going to reverse engineer exactly how they do it, and how you can steal their blueprint. Let's get tactical. Billionaires don't rely on willpower. They engineer environments where focus is the default and distraction is impossible. Here's the framework. Step 1. The digital detox. Delete social media from your phone. Not limit. Delete. Turn off all notifications except calls from 3 people. Use website blockers during work hours. Freedom. Cold turkey. Nuclear options. Your phone should be a tool, not a slot machine. Step 2. The physical space. 1 room. 1 purpose. No TV in the workspace. No phone within arm's reach. Temperature at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Science shows this optimizes cognitive performance. Step 3. The time vault. Billionaires don't have office hours. They have creation blocks. 4 a.m. to 8 a.m., deep work. No meetings. No calls. Pure creation. 8 a.m. to noon, leverage activities. Team, investors, execution. Noon to 1 p.m., movement and recovery. Repeat. The first 4 hours of your day determine the next 4 decades of your life. Here's where billionaires separate from millionaires. They don't trade time for money. They build leverage. And in 2025, there are 3 forms of leverage. Number 1, labor leverage. You hire people. They multiply your output. This is how you go from 100,000 to 1 million. Number 2, capital leverage. You raise money. Deploy it strategically. Compound returns. This is how you go from 1 million to 10 million. Number 3, code and media leverage. You build systems that work 24/7 without you. Software. Content. Intellectual property. This is how you go from 10 million to 1 billion. Naval Ravikant calls this permissionless leverage. You don't need a boss's approval. You don't need investors. You need a laptop, a skill, and the discipline to build while others scroll. And here's the dopamine connection. When you build leverage, you get dopamine from creation, not consumption. Your brain starts rewarding shipping products instead of watching Netflix. That's the switch. That's the vault unlocking. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Billionaires know this. So they engineer proximity. They don't go to public events. They create private masterminds. They don't cold email. They get introduced through trusted nodes. They don't network. They build strategic alliances with people 10 years ahead. Here's how you apply this. Step 1. Audit your circle. Who are you spending time with? Are they pulling you up or dragging you down? Cut the anchors. Ruthlessly. Step 2. Invest in proximity. Pay $10,000 to join a mastermind with 8-figure founders. Fly across the country for a 30-minute coffee with someone who's built what you want. Spend money on access, not things. Millionaires spend 30% of income on personal development. Broke people spend 0. Step 3. Become valuable first. Don't network. Add value. Solve problems for people above you before asking for anything. When you guard your dopamine, you have the energy to build real relationships. Not transactional. Transformational. Final principle. Billionaires play infinite games. They're not optimizing for the weekend. They're building for decades. Jeff Bezos didn't take a profit from Amazon for 9 years. Elon Musk reinvested every dollar into Tesla and SpaceX for over a decade. Warren Buffett held Coca-Cola stock for 37 years. They delay gratification at a level most people can't comprehend. Because they understood, dopamine delayed is dopamine multiplied. When you resist the dopamine hit today, the impulsive purchase, the viral distraction, the instant gratification, you're investing in future dopamine abundance. The discipline to say no to $1,000 today becomes the empire that generates $10,000 per day in 5 years. That's the vault. That's the secret. And in part 3, we're bringing this home. How you can apply this blueprint starting tomorrow. Let's make this actionable. Here's your 30-day protocol to reclaim your dopamine and rebuild your focus. Week 1. Digital detox. Delete social media apps. Enable grayscale mode on your phone. No screens 1 hour before bed. Track how your focus feels. Week 2. Environmental redesign. Create a dedicated workspace. Remove all distractions from sight. Set 90-minute deep work blocks. Track how much you accomplish. Week 3. Strategic dopamine. Choose one hard goal. Work on it first thing every morning. No consumption until creation is done. Track how accomplishment feels. Week 4. Infinite game mindset. Map your 10-year vision. Reverse engineer the next 90 days. Join one community of high performers. Track whether you're thinking bigger. By day 30, you won't recognize your focus. Your brain will have rewired. You will crave creation over consumption. Building over browsing. Impact over impressions. Neuroplasticity. Your brain adapts to what you practice. Here's what most people miss. The shift from consumer to creator isn't just strategic. It's psychological. When you guard your dopamine, you reclaim your identity. You stop seeing yourself as the person who watches others succeed. The person who wishes they could. The person who scrolls away their potential. And you become the builder. The strategist. The empire creator. This is what billionaires know that broke people don't. Your dopamine system is a mirror of your self-concept. If you see yourself as a consumer, you'll consume. If you see yourself as a creator, you'll create. And the beautiful part? Creation feels better than consumption. The dopamine from building a $10,000 per month business? Infinitely more satisfying than 10,000 likes. The dopamine from seeing your first customer get results? Can't compare to binge watching another series. That's the real vault. Not guarding dopamine for the sake of discipline, but guarding it to unlock meaning. Let's zoom out. 20 years from now, you'll look back on this moment. You'll ask, what did I build with my time? Will you remember the Netflix shows? The Instagram posts? The hours lost to dopamine traps designed by billion-dollar corporations? Or will you remember the business you built that employed 50 people? The wealth you created that secured 3 generations? The systems you designed that generated value while you slept? Billionaires guard their dopamine because they understand. Every minute spent consuming is a minute not spent creating legacy. And legacy isn't about monuments or fame. Legacy is freedom. Financial freedom. Time freedom. The freedom to choose how you spend every single day. That's what's waiting on the other side of dopamine discipline. Not restriction. Liberation. So here's the choice. You can close this video and go back to the feed. Back to the infinite scroll. Back to borrowed dopamine. Back to being a product in someone else's attention economy. Or you can become a billionaire of attention. You can vault your dopamine. Engineer your environment. Build leverage that compounds. Play the infinite game. The wealthiest people in history aren't smarter than you. They just made one decision differently. They refused to let their focus be for sale. And if you're ready to join them, this is Titanexia, where we decode power, wealth, and strategic psychology. If this resonated, subscribe and turn on notifications. We're building a community of modern empire builders who refuse to be distracted.